Hey there, guys. Dezmon Landers here, your startup advisor and partner in entrepreneurship. Welcome to another Language of Business video. And in this video, we're going to talk about the concept of a break-even point. A break-even point is the point in a business's life cycle where the business's revenue match or meet the business's expenses. Now, it sounds like a very simple concept, but it's extremely detrimental for you and your business to stay in the game. Whether it's a side business, you're self-employed, especially if you're self-employed, and definitely if you're a business owner and if you have employees. You see, every business over time starts to increase its expenses, especially if it's growing, right? You need more resources, more human capital. You need more equipment. You need more seating in your restaurant. You need more supplies. Whatever it is, it's growing. So as revenues grow, sometimes expenses will increase. And even if you're just starting out and nothing's happening, you still have what's called a monthly burn rate or a monthly fixed expense number. That number is extremely important to hit. And that's your break-even number, essentially, folks. If you don't hit that number, you're going to be taking a loss every single month. So let's give go through a quick example here. Let's say that you are into cupcakes. That seems to be the new fad for everybody, especially here in Atlanta. So let's say you open a cupcake store and you're super excited and you're like, yeah, I'm going to do this. You took your savings from your corporate job or whatever you did. It's always been your life dream to start a cupcake store. And then you open the doors and no one comes in. You could open the door 15 minutes ago. Maybe the guy's going to come in at 30, but it doesn't matter. But the point is, you hit the point in which you say, this is going to be interesting because 30 days from now, if I don't sell enough cupcakes, I got $10,000 a month in business expenses. How the heck am I going to do that? Well, you could easily say, well, if I sell cupcakes for $5 and I've got $10,000 in business expenses, then I have to sell 2,000 cupcakes. Now, that is no easy feat in itself alone, but let me tell you something, and I got a kicker for you. That would be wrong because you are not factoring in the investment into the actual per cupcake cost that you're going to have to make. So that is going to deceive the mess out of you and is going to take and put you out of business. Here's the proper way to do that. You must run the break-even calculation. There's three components to the break-even calculation. Number one, fixed expenses. Fixed expenses is like that $10,000 a month I was talking to you about. Those are the expenses that are going to be around whether customers pay you or not. They will be here, rain, sleet, hail, snow, doesn't matter. They're going to be here. So you got fixed expenses that aren't going anywhere. You've got price, right? Price is the investment level that you want the marketplace to make into your product or service. And then you've got variable costs. Variable cost is a cost that is incurred during the creation of one of your products or your services or your cupcakes or your DVD players. Whatever you're selling, the creation of that thing costs before you can put a price on it and sell it. And you must recoup those costs in order to stay in business, let alone profit, right? So let's break this down, this equation, and let's give a couple numbers here. You're burning $10,000 a month in fixed expenses, right? So we got that number. We know we need to hit that number. Let's say you could sell cupcakes for $5 each. Those better be some good cupcakes if I'm paying $5 a cupcake, because I know a place where I can get 12 cupcakes for $5. But I digress. And then your variable cost, let's say it's $2, right? So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to tackle what the profit margin is per unit sold. You're going to want to do 5 minus 2, which is going to leave you with a gross profit margin per transaction of $3. Then you're going to divide that by the 10,000. 10,000 divided by 3 is roughly about 3,300. Now, guess what that number is? That is the number of units you must sell every single month to keep the lights on and not take a loss. So if you are thinking about opening a cupcake company, then you may think twice after hearing that number, right? Because that's a lot of units to sell for anybody. I mean, if you get 3,300 people to say yes to something, how many more people did you have to ask that said no, right? So those are big numbers, but it's important that you understand that. If you're already in, it's important that you understand it if you didn't. But if you're just starting, it's important that you understand it and you project how your expenses are going to grow over time. Because, while it's $10,000 in your first, couple months, if your business grows and you start hiring people, or let's say you start opening locations, like in our lodging business, in my client's lodging business, she's opening locations around the country, right? So we have to have fixed hard expenses, like $2,000, $3,000 a month per location. So if you don't run the numbers correctly, it can be tricky and you can't expand and you'll just cannibalize on yourself and you'll go out of business. So as a recap here, the break-even calculation is three things: fixed expenses divided by price minus variable costs. You take your profit, you divide your profit by your fixed expenses. That'll give you the break-even units in numbers that you actually need to sell. And as long as you can hit those numbers, you won't take a loss. And if you don't hit those numbers, you will take a loss, and you probably will have to go into your savings or a line of credit or a loan that you got from the bank. And if you don't have that, you'll be out of business, which we hope that does not happen. And the purpose of you watching The Language of Business is to make sure you understand this stuff so you can stay in business. My name is Dezmon Landers, your startup advisor and partner in entrepreneurship. Thank you so much for watching this video, and make sure you hit the break-even point. Thanks.